So, how to get wealthy if you're a distinctly average person with average knowledge and average mental acuity. So, I've modelled this around myself, and really I am what was I going to say? So, Adam, I know you were listening to this the other day, and I'm going to speed through this because I have mentioned it a few times. But really, it's all about escaping mediocrity scale, as I call it, and R multiples. They are the two things to really be aware of that will help you. And I always put my money where my mouth is. And so first of all, I won't labour the point because I did this in the clubhouse the other day. But when you take if you were to plot everyone on the planet to do, I don't know, the 100 meters, okay? So over here, in the top 100 percentile, you'd have Usain Bolt, okay? And he can run the 100 meters in like 9 point something seconds, whatever that may be. And then over here at 0, you have people that can't even complete 100 meters, okay? And so that will be people that can't walk or whatever. But if you were to plot the whole world, it would just be a Gaussian distribution. It would be something like this. Okay? And most people will hover around with anything, literally anything. It could be how good you are at knitting to how good you are in bed. Most people will be hovering around the sort of 30 to 40. Or I would probably actually say 20 to 40. Literally anything on the planet, everyone will be driving. Everyone is around here. Now, for most of us, we're not going to be the next Tiger Woods. Like this year, if we're allowed, I'm massively taking up golf. I'm going to treat it properly, simply because I got this big bet on with one of my best mates. But I'm never going to, like Tiger Woods is all the way up here, around in the 100, and Rory and all the top PGA pros are from 90 to 100. I'm never going to get there. Hell, I'm never even going to be a scratch golfer. So I'm never even going to become, in the 70s or plus. But I don't need to. In order to beat my mate, I really just need to get myself to probably to the 50 level. Obviously, this is not to scale. And you can get into the sort of the 40 to 50 scale in anything you do with just a very short period of binge learning. And that's pretty much what it is. If you just spent 100 or 20 hours of focused learning in anything, you're going to be better than like 99% of the general population. Okay? So, and this is all I did 10 years ago. The only skill I had, literally the only skill I had in my whole life was flying. That was the only thing I could do. I could fly helicopters and planes. That was all I could do. Everything else in my life I was shit at. Oh no, flying and COD. You could not beat me at Call of Duty. Many people have tried. And as Adam said, one Netflix series, in terms of unit of time, on a subject will put you in the top 10%, in my opinion, yeah. Oh, by the way, COD, like I was getting kill streaks of, 20 to 1, like you, consistently. That's my little flex there for gaming. But the thing is, all I did was, I realised instead of wasting my time playing computer games, which I spent a crazy amount of time doing, I was like, okay, in business and in finance and all that, well, basically wealth generation, where am I? And I had an honest chat with myself, and I said, well, I'm probably like, mind you, I was good at trading, so my trading knowledge was better. But in general, what did my bank balance tell me? My bank balance basically said, yes, you're distinctly average. You probably bang on 30. And so I then entered the world of business, and I was like, okay, we have Elon Musk or whatever over here at 100. I knew all of this back then, not to even try to get up here, because, Tiger Woods, for example, golf, he started when he was 3 years old. Like, you can't compete against that starting when you're 35 years old. I mean, what was it? Elon sold his first business when he was like 12 years old. He sold a computer game called Blaster. You just can't compete with that. So all you need to aim for is being above average. That is all you need to be, above average. And that doesn't mean you're actually that good at something. You're just above average. It's just that most people are just shit at everything. Well, actually, everyone is average by definition, but you just need to be slightly above average. Now in business, let's say you're Mr. Unlucky, okay? You're Mr. Unlucky, like me, and Sod's Law loves you, okay? You have this sinner, what is this? Sod's Law. That's a heart, by the way, loving you. And this is why I talk about R multiple, because the way that you can get out of Sod's Law is being consistent and just having R multiples to your side, okay? So in the world of business, I was like, yeah, screw this. I'm just going to set up a business until it works. And I was prepared to lose 10 businesses in a row. And it only took me, I think, 3 or 4 businesses. I think it was lucky number 3 or lucky number 4, can't remember. But yeah, so I had at least 3 flops before something went good. But by then I knew how to trade, and I was looking at this in terms of R multiples. So I thought, what I could do is bust a gut at work, because I got loads of different jobs at the same time, and I thought, okay, to get a business going, I'll probably need 5 grand, okay? And I was prepared to spend up to £5,000 per business project that I was going to do. And so, and if one flopped, that would be a waste of 5 grand, yeah, but I got loads of learning from it. And then I just carry on doing my jobs, saving up money, blah blah blah, until I could do the next thing. But what you don't do is wait until you got a lump of 5 grand, then set up a new business. What you do is you try and fill it in with your existing cash flow. So if you live frugally with your 2 jobs, etc., and you can spare an extra, 500 quid a month, well, guess where I was spending that 500 quid a month? It was going straight into my startup, whatever it may have been, and I've done a lot. I've done a lot of failures. So, but what is the R multiple? And this is what I was saying to myself, is that if I had a very simple business, like a very small business, like a one-man band business, or hell, a 1 to 3 man women band business, okay, and got that business, so it's just doing a very mediocre 100 grand a year profit, okay, and for a small business, that's like nothing. 100 grand a year profit. You can, like, if you're a plumber running your own plumbing business, you could easily do 100 grand a year, easy. You can have a food van and do that if you do things properly. So that was my goal, right? So have a business that chucked out 100 grand a year at least, so I can actually earn more than my old station commander. And what is that in real terms? And that's what, 8,000, not dollars, it's pounds, we're in England. 8,000, what was that, 3,333 recurring? Something like that, per month. So you just need a business that chucked out basically 8 grand a month profit, or EBITDA. And what is the R multiple on that? What in year one? So, and let's say you've spent 5 grand, and let's say this business lasts, I don't know, 3 years. So 5 grand into 300k profit. What is the R multiple of that? Well, let's work it out. So 3, because my maths is diabolical. 300 grand, divide that by 5,000. Sweet, it's a 60R trade. And that's if you just give up after 3 years. Let's just say your mediocre average business that's chucking out 100 grand a year profit. Let's say it lasts for 10 years and it's just like a simple cash cow. Well, that's £1 million that in profit. Obviously, you're going to be living off that, so you don't see £1 million quid in your account. But what's that? That's going to be like 200R. So I just have to check because my maths is bad. So that is 200R, right? 5,000. Yeah, it is 200R. So there was me thinking, sat there, trading because that's all I knew back then, flying and trading, I guess. And I've got a thing that I say to myself: if I ever see a 10 to a 20R trade, I'll take it. I don't care what it is, I'll take it. It could be investing in freaking Pokemon cards, but I'll take it. So long as the time frame is key here. There's no point making 10 or 20R in 20 years because that's just stupid. It's not stupid. I need better words. It's time inefficiency, which I was not prepared to expend. So, but then I start doing all the calculations for very small businesses. Or hell, even if you made 60 grand a year, that's like 5 grand a month profit. That's, the R multiple is ridiculous. And so I was like, okay, well, the R multiple And by consistently just trying to get a business working, any idea, it really didn't matter. It's a way that you can then move forward and up this curve, even if you're completely average with no skills or anything. So that's that. And again, with investing, and it's the same with investing. So and this is why you need an honest chat with yourself, because brutal honesty will help yourself. Because if you're not brutally honest with yourself, technically, I think that's what the definition of delusion. And if you're deluded, if you're self-deluded, you're never going to win on the markets, because you're going to be there thinking, I'm Billy Big Balls, but then the market's consistently telling you, no, you're not. So, yeah, so even if you look at, let's just take Bitcoin, for example. It's the easiest example, okay? Let's say you're the world's most, in fact, you're not even an average investor. Let's say you're the world's, like, shittest investor, and every time you trade or do a move on the markets, you just end up getting in at the worst time possible. So let's say you entered Bitcoin late to the game. You saw the hype, you're like, oh, okay, fine, it's taken a whole year to finally understand Bitcoin. I want to get into Bitcoin. And let's say you just pound cost, so this is why pound cost averaging in is so good, because let's say you got in, you missed that high. Oh yeah, I'm going to get back in at 19,200. Yep, I'm in. Oh shit. Okay. Let's oh, come on, move on. I'm going to exaggerate things a bit now. And then not only that, you think, okay, I'm going to buy in again because we're on the way back up. Ah, no. Okay, what about now? Yep. Nope. Let's buy in again. Nope. Nope. And Mr. Unlucky, Sod's Law, you managed to buy the peak of every, let's say you try to time it, you're pound cost averaging in over time, but you're trying to time it, but your time was just sucked. I'm not going to bore you with the maths, but if you work, let's say you put, I don't know, £200 in. Ooh, TradingView is not good for drawing on. 200, and then obviously you have to divide £200 by Bitcoin at the time. You can work it out how much Bitcoin you have. Long story short, as long as you've invested in, something with, good fundamentals, so that over the time it's going to do well, well then guess what? You're going to be absolutely laughing right now. And
the fundamentals are the key to this. Otherwise, you could apply this to that GME.
Exactly. GME had no valid fundamentals. It was just pure hype. And DFV, that guy who turned $50,000 into X amount of million, he was very lucky that his stock went viral. Because when you look at his previous posts over the last year, he was investing that for what he thought were the fundamentals of it, which don't really stack up. So you're spot on there, Adam. It's all about the fundamentals. And so that's why you can do something like this with Tesla. I cannot think of another business on the planet that has such strong fundamentals. And so you can afford to be the world's most unlucky investor and buy here. You get the point.
The key word here is investing, not trading. Yeah. That's what you've got to do.
Exactly. And if you're Mr. Investor over here, you would be laughing. Whoopsie. So
there is a video song that I put up, I think probably last year, on I actually did the maths of if you bought Bitcoin. I think it was from 2019, all-time previous highs from the 2 years before that. On average, you'd still be on top. It's somewhere in the article.
Yeah,
if anyone wants to take
exactly. So this is why
I did the maths and everything. So
yeah. So I know I'm shooting myself in the foot here, but I think it's the truth. It's the truth. Actually, how many people? There's 40 people here. I'm not going to go through the list. If you're brand new here and you're doing the trading test drive, for example, and you're just getting it up, used to all this, and let's say you relate to this person here, because this is who I really do relate to. This is me. This is how I see myself. But I massively overcompensate my inadequacies by basically binge watching, binge learning something new. Like, I knew nothing about chess 2 years ago, but I've been playing chess, speed chess, every night from midnight till 1 o'clock in the morning, every night for the last 2 years. I'm pretty freaking good at chess now. Where am I on this scale of chess? Probably a 45, 50. I still get my ass handed to me every time I'm matched up with a pro. but I'm pretty sure I could probably beat most of people here at chess. But not because I'm special, just got to put the time in. So if you are brand new to trading, you relate to this description over here, and you want to move up this curve in terms of the wealth generation curve, trading probably isn't actually the thing that you should be doing. I think you should definitely watch all the videos in the trading test drive so you really understand it and you're fully informed, and you can put a bookmark on it to come back at a later date. But what you should be focusing on right now is putting every spare penny that you can have into setting up your own part-time business that will then go full-time. I mean, just look at the R multiples. Even if you spent $5 getting a business running and it was only giving you, 2, 3, 4 grand a month profit, well, the R multiple is still amazing, and you're always going to be learning. And then you just got to keep on doing your stepping stones upwards. And then whilst you're doing that, and then if you get your business running and chucking out some surplus cash flow, then you can start investing and pound cost averaging over time, like we said with Tesla, Bitcoin, etc. Does that make sense, folks? I guess for the newer people here especially, does that make sense? I know I'm sort of saying go away, but I think it's the truth. I think that, as best as I can think, that's what I think is the best, probably the most logical course of action. And the flip side to this, and the beautiful flip side to this, is why I think people think I'm a degenerate gambler. Because when you eventually get a business, or you are a business owner who can or has a business in the 30s, 40s, 50s, you can then start to do some really interesting things. So I guess I'm lifting my skirt up here a bit. So when you look at I've got, I guess, three groups.